What's up, guys? We're back here. We're gonna go grind our mobs. I think we need to kill how many mobs? 200? Yep, 200 mobs. Alright, so let's bring the pet out so the pet can gain EXP also. And then there we go. Let's buff up. So, hope everyone is having a great day as well. So we're gonna try and kill bots also, since those are fun to kill. Even though it's not time efficient, we do have about an hour to kill 200 mobs. So let's see if we can do this in that time frame. I think we'd be able to do that. Got to get our targeting down there. So another interesting thing that has happened recently is that BSLT prices is kind of stabilizing around like 38 cents, it looks like. Which I think there's a big reason for this, and we'll talk about it right now. It's all the BSLT that got staked, right? So in order to play the game, you need house pretty much. Like, that's why the goal of this series is to get land and get the house. I mean, you can play the game 100% free to play without getting a house, but over time, you're going to become so weak compared to the other players that you're not going to be able to do the content unless they give new, like buffs to free to play players, for example. So free to play can get to about 12,000 gear score, and that's it. Like, because you're not going to be earning enough Archeum to actually upgrade your gear any higher. So 12,000 gear score is pretty much the cap for free to play players. If you are, a paying player and have a house, you now get access to, it's like 2,200 labor a day, and then 1,000 Archeum a day. So that's a very, very big difference, because as a free-to-play player, the amount of Archeum that you're able to get is about 150 per day, maybe a little bit higher. You can also farm the moles. So there is a method to doing this without a house. And so in order to have that house, you've got to get the design from the Blue Salt shop over here. And you go into building, and you can see, so just having the land by itself doesn't do anything. You could plant crops, but that's not very effective. So you need the building. In the tent, it costs 150 BSLT. So you're pretty much indefinitely having 150 BSLT in the game. Because the cool thing is, when you buy it, it's staking that BSLT. It's not actually spending it. Like, if you want to destroy your tent and you want to sell the tent and leave the game or whatever, you get your 150 BSLT back. Like, hey, there's the dude that I thought was a bot, I think. But realistically, anyone that's playing the game has to keep that 150 BSLT in the game pretty much forever, because you need that labor, you need that Archeum. So all of the people that are playing this game have to stake at least 150 BSLT, right? To get their house, to make sure that they get their, daily supply of Archeum and labor. So the price can never really fall back down to that 0.035 cents where it started off at, because there's always going to be a supply of blue salts that is locked up. And if you look at it this way, there is approximately 7,000 land, they say, but if you run around the map and you actually see the numbers on the land, it looks like there's about 11,000 lands. But they estimated that there was, wow, that was a terrible skewer. They estimated there was 7,000, and so they sold approximately 3,500 lands. They didn't all sell out, so they ended up selling about 2,000 lands. So there you have a base. You have 2,000 lands. And then now if you multiply that by 150, because you figure anyone that has a land is going to be using it, right? So now you have, what is this, 300,000, right? Is that 300,000? So 2,000 times 150, that's 300,000 BSLT that is locked up. Minimum. That's the minimum amount. That's if everyone is just using a tent. Granted, there are some people that are very, very stupid and they're not putting a tent down on their house. I have seen it. It pains me so much to see a land plot that just has, 16 trees on it and no tent. But that makes it better for all the people that are doing it correctly, right? The correct way is to put down the tent on the small land, to farm the tent, to get the resources. You can do whatever you want, right? I always say this, you can do whatever you want. It's just not going to be beneficial. Like, it's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing, in my opinion, to do. To not have a tent on your house or on your land. Because the amount of resources you get is just crazy. You can actually sell the labor, you can sell the Archeum, and you can make profit on that. It's mind-blowing that they wouldn't do that unless they don't know, or unless they think that they can only have one tent on one account. But that's wrong. Like, you can have as many tents, as many lands as you own. So if you own 10 pieces of land, kind of like we do in my main account, you can have 10 tents, and you can have 10 beds, and then you can have 10 Archeum machines. So for each land that you own or are renting, you get to put a bed and you get to put an Archeum machine in that tent. Like, owning multiple lands is incredibly valuable. It is probably the most important thing in this game, actually. Because when you look at it from this perspective, owning the tent and owning the land pretty much gives you a passive way to earn labor and Archeum. Labor and Archeum are the most valuable resources in the game. You're going to need both to upgrade your character, and you don't really get much of that if you don't have a house. So until there's other ways for you to earn labor or Archeum, or both of them, you really, really have to have a house. And I don't think that they'll ever make it where there is other ways to really get those materials. Like, you get some with the daily quest, and that's why we do the daily quest every single day. Like, that's why those are the most important things for free-to-play players, is because that's the only way to get your labor and the only way to get your Archeum. So the daily schedule and the daily contracts are the most important thing, because labor and Archeum is the most important resources in the game. Oh, we're gonna lose our buff. Alright, we're still doing good though. We're making good time. We're at 174 kills. So being able to passively get your labor and your Archeum is incredible. That means you don't really need to play too much, right? So you log in, every 12 hours or so to harvest your Archeum, harvest your labor, and then log off. Also, too, you get, because you are spending a little bit of labor to create that Archeum, you get EXP that way as well. So you simply, log in, log out. It's almost like a clicker game in a sense. So like all the other crypto games out there, right? How they don't really actually have gameplay and they just clickers. Well, Archeum and labor with a house, this kind of turns us into a standard play to earn clicker game with no gameplay. That could be your entire gameplay loop, right? Just log in every single day, collect your house. So one click, 12 hours, collect your labor, collect your Archeum, and then log out. Log in 12 more hours. So you could treat Archeworld 100% as a OG crypto game that has no gameplay. And it's actually really profitable. I'll let you crunch the numbers and do the data on that, but it is really, really profitable actually to do that. You can become more profitable by playing the game and actually doing rifts, playing the economy, the market. Hey, a bot. A bot! Let's see if we can help him die. Oh, looks like he's gonna get away. He survived! We're out of mana. Sheesh, we missed on that attack too. This one mob is taking forever to die. Ooh, that would have been a really nice splash right there. There were so many mobs chasing. Alright, let's do this. Let's see if we can get lucky and kill. No, it's not going to work. We don't even get to hit them because they're resetting. Damn. Alright, so we've been running out of mana now since we are farming more efficiently. So we're going to put the mana potions here on our bar. And yeah, we haven't even been using our food buffs because we don't need it. We're one-shot killing these guys pretty much. We're just waiting for our cooldown to come up. Yep, and every so often we get this little failure where these guys miss the skewer. And it takes us forever to kill them. And it wastes our mana. I don't remember if there's an accuracy buff in this game or not. Let's take a look at the food. Okay, succession rates. That could mean accuracy. I don't know what they mean by succession rate exactly. We always pick that one. It probably does. So it says attack chance there. That's the hard thing, is because this is an Asian game. So we are on an Asian server. So things are not correctly translated for the English players. So sometimes you just gotta make assumptions on what things do. So yeah, so this buff, we don't necessarily know exactly what it's doing. 8% success rate increased, which then when you looked at it, it was something else. So my guess is that it's like, it could be accuracy, because this one, you would originally think that it's attack speed, right? But this one over here does attack speed. So they're not going to give the same buff in two different potions. So my guess now is that it has to be accuracy. Because this one does power, and then this one does health and mana. Oh no, we got a person. And actually, we should be in bloodlust mode since we are farming. So let's go ahead and change that. Alright, so 91 more mobs. Yeah, we still got about 30 minutes left. So this definitely is a pretty good grind spot. I don't know if tomorrow if we'll do grind 300 mobs. The reward is kind of nice, but it does take a lot of, time, even with this spot. So it's about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I mean, we've jumped up. We're level 39 now, so our level is progressing. Yeah, the XP isn't terrible here either. Once this event ends, though, we'll go back to doing quests. And we're going to go back and do a lot of the easier quests. Because you do want to really do all of the basic quests. So I think for right now, you really should just grind mobs because of the event. I think the event takes priority over everything else. And the reason I think that is, I think it's because the drop chance is way better. We calculated it yesterday as we opened up 500 of these coin purses on my main account. And if the drop rate is anything better than 1 in 51,000, I think it was, then you definitely just want to be opening up coin purses. And I'm pretty sure the drop rate is better than 1 in 51,000. Like, that's my guess. I would guess that it's better than that. Like I said, I've had countless people now actually. Well, maybe not countless. I've probably had about 5 people that have messaged me that have said like, hey, I got the land NFT, I'm a free-to-play player. So that's a decent amount of people because, I mean, I'm not that famous, right, guys? Like, not everyone talks to me. So 5 people that are like, hey, I won the prize. That's pretty cool. Like, congrats to all you guys that have won. That's amazing. Someone said they got it out of rank 1. Someone said they got it out of rank 2. I've got a lot of rank 2 winners. So definitely rank 2 does feel like it has a higher drop chance, which it should. And we touched upon this, like rank 2 should have a higher drop chance because it also costs 15 labor instead of 5 labor. The sad thing is that we're probably not going to be able to open all of our purses that we get because we won't have enough labor to actually do it. Oh, we got our first blood stain. We killed a bot who was green. So we're going to be a criminal now. So when you attack and kill green players, you actually get crime points. You need to kill 30 of them, I believe it is, to actually get sentenced to jail. So we're not going to be like in prison, but we'll actually lose our jury queue. I believe that's how it works. I don't know if they changed it in this system, in this game. But yeah, if you're a criminal, you can't go onto the jury. So there's 3,999 people in queue right now. That's a lot of people. Yeah, so those that are wondering, like, is the game popular? Well, I think there's your answer right there. There's, almost 4,000 people waiting to be a juror. And in order to do that, you have to be level 30, and you have to have done the jury quest line, which most people have not done. The bots do not do the jury quest line. Oh, there's a whole bunch of people. And they look like real people because they're actually on mounts. So that's one of the interesting too, is like we don't know when peak playtime is. And so like it looks like peak playtime for the server might be at like 7, 8, 9 a.m. In my time. So I'm in California, USA. So it looked like some of those people are part of the Juice gaming community. So I'm I don't know anything about them, but I think they are like a crypto gaming community. I've seen them like advertising. One of the guys makes YouTube videos as well. So definitely go check out the Juice people. Yeah, see this guy's right here. Juice team whatever. Oh, Mr. Buff. It looks like they might be mole hunting because it just turned to war, it looks like. So they might be looking for moles. We haven't seen any moles around here though. I do know there's a mole spawn like right out front, like by those giants that we farmed the other day. Yeah, moles are the other way that free-to-play players can progress, or anyone. So anyone can use moles, but you have to be able to kill them. So you either need a small group, or right now a sorcerer can kill them, on their own. Because you have to do enough damage in 30 seconds to kill the mole before it heals and regenerates. And so the sorcerer skill tree actually has enough DPS in it where it can do a kill on the mole in 30 seconds. So technically probably sorcery is the best skill tree for a solo player. if you want to like mole hunt, which is probably the most efficient way, I'd say, maybe, to make money in this game. So that would probably be my guess, is mole hunting would be probably the most efficient way to make money consistently. I mean, because obviously you can make money by flipping items on the auction house. And we'll take a look at that once we finish this kill quest. But that's not consistent, because you could buy an item for, say, 50 BSLT and then flip it and sell for 500 BSLT, but you can't repeat that process over and over and over again. Like, you can't consistently do that. You got really lucky to find an item for, 50 BSLT in that scenario and then sell it for 500. Yeah, we didn't even touch, so 9.6 BSLT. Doesn't look like anything's sold. Which is okay. I don't think we put many things up on the auction house right now because I think things are not really worthwhile to, sell, craft. Let's take a look. Coin purses, logs. What about these guys? 0.04. So we might actually be able to sell this for 1 now. Let's see if that's the real price. So you always got to check the real prices. 0.07. Yeah, see, it's going up, which is good. And that makes it way better for free-to-play players, because the other just generic way to make money is to open up coin purses. And out of coin purses, you get those blue Stone of Rifts, the faint Stone of Rifts. So just basic consistency of opening coin purses, getting those, and then selling that loot off. So if that loot goes up higher, which was the original plan for getting all our BSLT, because when we started the series, that item was about 0.15. So you can see the market has definitely shifted downwards. And I do think that that item will actually increase in value, because you need that to go to Ancestral level 1, and you need 500 of those. They also do drop out of the Rift bags. But out of the Rift bags, they drop very, very, like small amounts. Same thing out of the coin purses, they're semi-rare. You get one every 10 or so coin purses, it looks like. On the high-end ones, on these ones, on the nobles. So the nice thing is that we actually will have a stockpile of coin purses now once this event is over, because we're not going to destroy or just get rid of our noble coin purses. They're just going to sit in our inventory until we have the labor to use on them. Because right now we're opening up the lucky coin purses. And then maybe if the labor pots go back down to 5 BSLT, it might actually be worthwhile to go and just buy them and to start... Oh wow, labor pots are way up. I wonder if I did that. and I say that because I opened up those coin purses, did a video, and potentially could have spiked the labor pot price by telling people hey, yeah, these coin purses are good. So that's one of the interesting things is I'm famous, but I'm not that famous, right? People do see my videos and people do act on my videos, as you guys are watching know. the tips and tricks that I give generally don't work too well after a video gets posted because too many people do it. So as more people do something, it becomes less profitable. And that's why as we started this series, I didn't really want to talk about these stoner rifts because I was hoping that they would keep their value and keep increasing. Because at one point they were 0.3 BSLT. Like, they were really, really high. They were getting very expensive. And then as we progressed, more people kept asking, and then I, let the cat out of the bag and said that coin purse farming. And it's like, you need to open the level 40 ones. And, I didn't specifically say exactly which item, but, there's only one item in the coin purse that is actually worth any money and that you could really sell. Because the other items that you get out of the coin purses are the skin, the log, and the stone, and that's about it. You also get some books, but realistically nothing else sells for money. And so the only other item had to be that blue Stoner Rift. So, without even directly saying what the item was, I potentially could have ruined that market a little bit. And this is also why, like I've said before, that me talking or streaming about ideas and things like this, it's good and bad. It helps people to understand the basics, but they do have effects on the market, right? So me saying yesterday that everyone should open up those lucky coin purses will have an effect on the market to some degree. Does it mean that we made people go buy labor potions to open up all these things? Maybe. We might have influenced a couple people, one or two people maybe, to be like, hey, this is a good deal. Let's go do it. Let's go, farm these coin purses and open up all these things. That could have happened. There is a slight increase, 1149 to 1113 over the day. So it doesn't mean that there's less labor pots being sold. This also just makes houses so much better. So this is another thing, is I've always talked that houses are insane once the BSLT price went up. And my videos didn't necessarily increase the housing market for a long time. So either people didn't act on that advice tip that I gave out, or it was a super delayed tip because people didn't want to really invest, $200, $300 into the game. I don't know what it was, but like, I think it's easier for people to act on tips in game. And so it feels cheaper, right? It doesn't feel like you're spending real life money when you're 9.3, 9.6, 9.8. Like, this is BSLT. This doesn't feel like real cash. But when you're buying things on like OpenSea, the NFT, and you're paying, $300, sure, you're buying it in clay, a cryptocurrency, but it tells you straight up right there. It's got a little, asterisk by it, brackets that says, hey, this is $300 or this is $400, right? So it tells you right there, but like, hey, you're spending $400. It's like, oh, do I really want to spend $400 on a picture, on an NFT that, gives me land in game? So I think that could have been a scary factor. But when we talked about that, this is the beginning of the server, we were, really gung-ho about land. If it was over 10 cents on the BSLT, it's like you're an idiot to not buy land. Because land prices were only about like 300, 200, somewhere around there. So they were very, very cheap. And as BLT price just kept rising, we've been talking about this a lot, that you're an idiot if you didn't buy land. And even still, like right now, land price is $450, and that's still relatively cheap, in my opinion. Like, it's not amazing as it was before, but it's still relatively cheap, especially when you consider a small land with a tent is able to sell 30 of these potions, every 28 days. So we'll just round up to 10. That's 300 BSLT. And we touched on this before. It's like, if you can make 300 BSLT just by selling potions, and you still get extra labor, like, you technically get 39 labor pots every 28 days. If you do it every 12 hours, you get that. If you log in every 6 hours, you even get even more. But just 12 hours, so twice a day, you're going to get 39 labor potions that you could sell. So that would be 390 BSLT if it was 10 BSLT. To rent a small land right now, it only costs you 135 BSLT to rent from XL Games. So that means, we talked about this earlier, that how profitable a small land is and how much, like, just buy the tents. Like, don't plant trees, buy the tents. You're almost, you're almost tripling your money every single month, every 28 days by just making and selling labor potions at 10 BSLT. Like, that's insane right there, to be able to triple your money in a month. Like, people don't realize how good that is. Like, everyone should be renting a land. Some people realize that. You see it in chat sometimes where people are asking, like, hey, I want to rent this land. Hey, I want to rent any land. Especially, so even mediums are pretty good to rent as well. And so the reason is people want to rent land is because you can rent unlimited amount of land, whereas from XL Games, you can only rent one land, and then they cap it. So they did a really good job of making, like, alts not a thing, and multi-bots and things like that. Like, you don't really need multi-accounts, but once people start to realize and it clicks in their head, it's like, oh, each account can rent one land. You should really have like 15 accounts, and then you should go rent 15 lands, and then you should put down 15 tents, and then you could make a ton of money. Like, it's too good to be true. The labor pot price needs to go way down. Like, way down. Labor pot needs to be like 3 BSLT. Like, that's how low the labor pot needs to go for it to, like, not really be worth it to rent land. So even at like the 5 BSLT price before this event, it was still profitable because you also got Archeum. So we didn't even touch on the Archeum. So yeah, so you're able to get 30 labor pots and then about 3 Archeum bundles in that 28-day period if you log in twice a day. And so the Archeum is about 70. So again, now you're looking at a little over 300 BSLT. If labor pot is 5 and Archeum is 70, like, this is why I always talk to in the series, is like, if you are going to play this game, don't try to grind out free to play. Like, don't do this. Just simply put some money in and start making your money. Like, there's a reason that my main account has like 10 lands. It's because land is so profitable. Land is like, it's almost a joke how profitable land is. Like, something has to break. And we haven't got to that yet. Like, labor pots have to be like next to nothing. Like 3 BSLT. Archeum has to be a lot cheaper. Or the land prices just have to be a lot higher. And we saw a slight increase. We saw land go up to like, I think $500 at one point, and then it's coming down some because of this event. But yeah, like the amount of profit in land is ridiculous. Like I said, it's almost a 3x every single 28 days. Just crazy. Literally just crazy. Anyway, guys, so that will be it. We finished off our daily quest here. I would love to open up these lucky coin purses, but we need to be conservative. We need to use our labor for our daily quests. And at the end, we will end up opening a whole bunch probably. If, depending on what happens, we'll see. We may end up cheat in the end, and if we have like 1,000 bags and just transfer some labor over. But yeah. So we are 100% free to play here. Have not spent any money. We have made a total of 29.6 BSLT. Let's take a look at the auction house right now to see if we can make some more BSLT. So always look into the conversions. Let's see how much the log is. 0.14. See how much the lumber is? Nope, not good. See how much the stone is? Yeah, 0.11, okay. I like that. And yeah, it's not bad actually. That one's a pretty good ratio. .23, and then fabric. Okay, so stone is actually decent right now. So let's see, is it profitable to just buy a labor potion and then convert these? Although we don't have 12.3 BSLT, so we would have to wait a little bit until someone puts some more stone up here. So just click this button to refresh and people might put new items up here. We also have a couple of ores, so we can list these guys. Let's see what the Shattuck I'm selling for. 0.34. Okay, not terrible. Definitely trending downwards. Let's see on this. So 0.066. So 14. All right, let's try and sell our guys. We're gonna break them up. I'm in stack of 8. And let's try and get 1 BSLT out of this. Because I've said this before and I'll say it again, you never know what people are going to buy. Smaller quantities is always great. It gives you a chance to sell it to someone who's only got $1, 1 BSLT. Someone might also only need like 8 of these or 6 of these and they don't want to buy a whole bunch. Hey, reset's coming up in 1 minute. I guess we'll stick around for resets. Ooh, someone's selling a tier 5 bow. I wonder how much they're selling it for. Oh, he doesn't have it listed. So 574 for DPS. Wow, that's a huge increase. 411. Let's go up to the heroic version. 447. Oh wow, yeah, that's a big increase. And yeah, they got shitty stats too. So one of the things that is very interesting in this game is that your stats all reroll. So like you could have all the blue stats in the world, you could have the best stats in the world, but then when you go up to tier 5, all those stats go away. So like this guy, he's got a really good weapon, right? He's got 2 blue stats. This is the best that you can get. There's nothing better in this tier. Blue stats are the best. But when he upgrades this, when you go to tier 5, like this guy did, these stats all reroll and go change. It doesn't matter that they're blue, they're now going to reroll into probably whites. So it's going to end up being white like this. That's probably part of the reason why he's selling this weapon, or attempting to sell the weapon. Alright, so let's see what we get. So we do have to open up coin purses. Alright, we don't want to open up 30, that's a lot of labor. So let's try and get a lower one. Nope. Okay, low rank. There we go. It's 20. Again, that's still a lot. That's 120 labor. But we need to use labor anyway for that. And then synthesis. 10. Good. Okay. And unfortunately, we have to open up the noble coin purses for this. Like, the lucky ones do not count. Which I really wish that next time they do this event, that they actually let the lucky coin purses count. It's always nice to get these skill boxes. Maybe we can get a skill for our class. Right, so done there. Okay. So we don't want to do logs. I guess we should have, we probably could have re-rolled that to high. We didn't think about that. We still can actually, like, okay, we got low rank there. So we need to re-roll this one though. The logs is a terrible quest. We want meat or we want, that's skiing. We don't want skiing. We don't want ore. So we got one more chance here, so. Yeah, we got meat. Good. Okay. So it was a good thing we didn't roll because we needed all those rolls to get the meat. And then this one, so we're stuck on. I guess we can just kill 100 mobs right here. Let's just smash these quests out while we're here. I still got energy. We can do this. Alright. So 100 synthesis. Let's see what we get in these boxes. A magic circle. Or Mancy health lift. We actually can use that skill. The question is, do we want to? I mean, it'll open up this passive. 13 HP recover. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so now we have that passive, and I would need to do synthesis materials. Get our buff. Actually, I'm going to do synthesis materials. So let's continue working on our chest. Cool, we got Archeum, or we got Arc Pass reward. Ooh, labor, nice, 300 labor. That is very, very nice. Yeah, so once we get a little bit more, once we get up to 30 BSLT, we get all these rewards. We get labor, we get skill note selections, we get labor, we get Archeum times 2, we get labor because we'll be there. Yeah, that's the first labor potion we use, so we got a gold coin bag. Very nice. Okay, put that back on. So XP kill monsters. Yeah, so by the time we get another 30 BSLT, we'll probably be down to like level 6. So probably 4 more days is my guess. 4 more days to get 21 BSLT. I think that sounds about right. I mean, we can always get lucky too. Someone could buy our stuff. We could find some good deals on the auction house. Let's help this dude out. Although I was actually trying to kill him. He's not a bot though, so I shouldn't have done that. That was mean. I need to be nicer. He could be a subscriber. Definitely don't want to kill a subscriber. Yeah, that must be really interesting for like big like streamers or YouTubers. If they're in a PvP game and they end up like killing the subscribers. I guess what normally happens is they like take over the server, don't they? If someone's got like a following of 50,000 people, then they're all like friendly and they make guilds and like team up, right? Is that what happens in games like this with big streamers? Just like the streamer like own the server. Oh, we're actually gonna get to level 42. That's cool. So we're actually then gonna get new daily quests that gives us Archeum. So we can attempt to go do those quests. Those are raid quests. And there's a cool little trick that got shared is that you don't actually have to kill the mobs. You just have to kind of like be there and potentially tag them. I mean, you could also get really lucky and join a raid. So, I mean, we might just get super lucky as is because we are, a community member that has some influence with the stream and the YouTube stuff. So people might be like, yeah, I want you to join my raid even though you're weak. But that's also just being friendly, right? So a lot of doors open up to you. Also in life in general, right? If you're friendly and nice to people. Because no one wants to help an asshole, right? You see a guy yelling and screaming on the street who's going like hysterical, you don't want to help him. But you see a guy who's like helping an old lady across the street or something like that, or, being nice, you're more inclined to help the friendly person. Or a guy who's got like a dog who looks, really skinny and sad, and he's just like kind of like depressed looking. You're more inclined to help that person than the guy who's shouting and screaming and losing his mind. I mean, is that just me, or is that how people think? That'd be so nice. We get in a raid and we get a blue Archeum core. And then we pretty much have our house. I think that's worth about 150 BSLT right now. Hey, there we go. Level up. Yep, so 40 is a big level because it said it unlocks those daily quests. Like, you wouldn't know it until you actually play the game and you see, like, oh, there's these new quests. But yeah, 40 is a very important level. That reminds me, let's see, 28. We're super close to unlocking this skill finally. And also the other thing too, when you level, all your skills will also level up with you. So you see, Vitalism is at level 40. And Sorcery is at level 40. I'm gonna wait for that other guy to come back. Ah, missed. Yeah, see, we're almost done here. We're at 46 already. It's been 14 minutes. Well, now I'm actually excited to go in my main account and sell some labor. Because the only downside with having like 10 properties, right, is you have too much labor. And so you have to sell some of it, even if you wanted to use it. Like, we want to use the labor on opening up these lucky coin purses. But there's no way I can get like 15,000 coin purses in a day to use all of that labor that I have. Let's see, so let's say 10 houses times 2,200. That's 22,000 labor every day that my 10 houses generate. So I definitely got to sell some of that labor. How many coin purses we can divide by 5? That's 4,400 coin purses a day that I could open up on these lucky ones. There's no way that I'm going to farm that many coin purses in a day. Like, I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure you can do it. But I'm not going to sit and grind coin purses all day. Even though we've been sitting and grinding coin purses for like an hour here. I'm such a hypocrite, right? But this is only 1 hour. Like, there's still 23 hours left in the day. Ah, missed. Yeah, I think my main account, I think I grind about 250 an hour in coin purses of these lucky ones. But yeah, grinding any like more than like 2 hours is just so painful. Yeah, this guy's been trying to sell his tier 4 Great Club for like a week now. I remember seeing that advertisement like a week ago. I think it was asking like almost 600 BSLT for this thing. Like, it's not worth it because you lose the stats as you level it up. I can see in the future they'll be like, they're called twinks, which I don't know why, right? But that's the term that they use for MMO games, is that they're characters that are like really strong low levels. They're like maxed gear at a specific level range. So I can see that being a really good like twink weapon, where you don't really progress your gear past tier 4. But the only reason that was actually a thing in other MMOs was like you had like arenas and content that was gated. It was like only level 50s can fight this, and then it's like if you go to 55 you can't. You have to fight in the 55 arena instead of the level 50 arena. So they don't have any of that here in Archeworld. So I don't think like twinking will be a thing. Like realistically in this game you want to be super high level, because the higher level you are, the harder you are to kill. You get more combat power. Oh, someone reported us. Yep, see we lost our jury queue. Oh, no, right there. We did lose our jury queue. Now, wouldn't that be sad if we went to jail before we got our house? Be like, it's easier to go to jail than it is to earn a house as a free-to-play player. And we're not even trying to kill green people. Like, we weren't even trying to kill that dude. He was just running by and he got hit by a skewer. It's okay. We can accidentally kill 28 more bots and not have to worry about it. And that's the green bots, right? So if you kill a bot that's red, it doesn't do anything. Or same thing, if you kill a human that's red, it doesn't do anything. But if you kill a green guy, then that's where you get those crime points. You don't get them instantaneously, so you get them after someone reports the blood. So there used to be a stain of blood over here, and someone came over and reported it and said, hey, I saw a crime. How do I keep missing that dude? It's like, gotta put the cursor like right here. But then I might miss the other dude. You know, there's a lot less bots today, it seems like. As one runs past me. Oh, we lost our buff. Damn. Yes, that was... I was pushing C accidentally. So in order to, like, self-buff, you have to push Alt. And, yeah, so... That's where that happened. Ooh, but we just have, I think, 4 more kills. Maybe we'll do an episode that's just, like, straight bot hunting. Just for fun. Hey, there we go. Okay, cool. So all our daily quests are now done. So now technically we don't even have to log in this account for another 24 hours. Oh, we have no mana. Smack him with your club. Alright, let's see. So everything should be done. Done, 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 done. Yep. Alright, we have to actually turn our stuff in though. Oh, yeah. We gotta go get our crops too. We almost forgot about the crops. That's very important. Yeah, it's super important because that's 200 labor. That's also some archeum. We can check on the ore prices now too. Okay, so there's a little bit. Oh yeah, there's a good one that came up right there. Nice. So we need logs. Nope, we got logs. We need skiing. Okay. So we're planting flowers. Yep, still flowers. So the new daily quests are at the community centers in the higher level regions. So there's one on the east and one on the west. So the community center here, or community center over here. So let's go get those ores, let's process them, and let's attempt to sell those guys. It should be all our skill books. Oh, some lumber too, cool. Okay. And we actually can make a shotgun ore. We have enough skiing too. Cool. So we can get another 3 BSLT. We definitely need to keep planting more flowers because skiing is the hardest one to get. Like all the other ones, you get like about 4 or 5 on harvest. On skiing, you only get like 2 to 3. That's also why skiing price is higher than the other ones. So let's go make the ore. Because yeah, we have a lot of Archeum now since we're getting Archeum from the lucky coin purses. 3.2? No, I don't want to get that. I don't want to get ripped off. Yeah, we're going to sell it for 3.5. And if it doesn't sell, no big deal. Alright, so... ore. Yep, we can sell more ore. Alright, so we might actually have a bunch of BSLT tomorrow when we log in. Very cool. Alright, so that will be it. We have finished all of our dailies. Now we potentially might just log in to grab our crops later today. But yeah, let's go and throw up our skill books too, just because clean up inventory, and who knows, maybe someone wants to buy a skill book. We did sell one of these the other day. Yeah, so the minimum price is 1 BSLT. That's the reason why everything has to be 1 BSLT. That's the minimum price that you can set for the auction house. So the only way to make it like cheaper is if you have multiple quantities of that item. So it still would have to be 1 BSLT, but that would make it like if you're selling 5 books and you're selling them for 1 BSLT, that means the sell price is 0.2. Oh yeah, we already have meditate. I was excited. I was like, oh, we got a new skill. Okay. All right, finally, we are leaving this time. All right, thanks for watching. As always, I'll see you in the next one.